All right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for more One Piece. Let's not delay this any further because I am brimming with energy right now. So let's begin. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. It is a momentous day, ladies and gentlemen, because as many of you know, back in February, I encountered something that in all my years of being on YouTube, I've never come across. I never had an issue from. So when back in February, I received my first strike on the channel for something I've never had an issue with for straight 9 years. And it was because I had the solo leveling logo in my thumbnail. It wasn't the video itself, it was just simply the thumbnail that caused me to get a strike on my channel. So, I had to endure the past 90 days of that strike just looming on my channel, that red mark just being on my dashboard whenever I looked at my analytics and everything that deals with my channel. I had to look at that for 90 days. But last night, while I was sleeping, that time limit ran out, and that strike expired, which means I am now, once again, a strike-free. Every single time, you guys get the deal. After 90 days of waiting, after trying to be patient, I even tried to get it taken off earlier on, but they rejected it because they didn't understand what I was talking about, or we can't do anything with this information when I was telling them, just release the strike and I'll change the thumbnail, you know? So now I don't have to worry about that anymore because since 90 days have passed, the strike is gone from my channel. I am strike-free, everybody. The danger is gone. That mark on my channel is gone. I'm happy today. I'm really happy. I'm also extremely happy because this is the last day we go before without that PlayStation Showcase that's going to be happening tomorrow at 4. That PlayStation Showcase, it better bring the heat, but I've spent the last almost 3 minutes talking about stuff that isn't One Piece related. Welcome back to my One Piece full series read-through. Today we are going to be going through volume 14 of the series titled Instinct. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, you guys will probably hear me being a lot more hyper and a lot more energetic simply because that strike is gone from my channel. So I just want to say thank you for enduring with me, even though it really only happened to me. Thank you for your encouraging words, for sticking it out with me, and just being all the best people that I've ever seen this side of the internet. Thank you, everybody. Let's begin! Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream. Oh wait, the story of One Piece, Volume 14. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream, and that dream was to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim, a serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea, and recruited some crewmates, Master Swordsman Zoro, treasure-hunting thief Nami, lying sharpshooter Usopp, and Sanji, the high-kicking chef. Having finally reached the Grand Line, Luffy and crew sail to Whiskey Peak, where they are wined and dined by the locals. But the village turns to be the lair of the secret criminal organization Baroque Works. Princess Nefertari Vivi of Alabasta, Ms. Wednesday, and Igaram, Mr. 8, have infiltrated Baroque Works in order to destroy it. Meanwhile, Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine have been sent to kill them. But before the officer agents can accomplish their deadly mission, Zoro intervenes, thanks to Nami's greed. After the battle, the princess explains that Baroque Works' true aim is the overthrow of Alabasta. Then she accidentally divulges the identity of Baroque Works' leader. now hunted prey, our heroes sail for Alabasta to return Princess Vivi to her kingdom. But first, they must face the perils of the mysterious island of Little Garden. So, last we left off in the last chapter, Dory's stomach kind of exploded because the drink that he drank exploded in his stomach, and now he's looking kind of cross. Now he's looking kind of cross at, Luffy and company because he thinks they did it. Chapters 18 through 26. That's what we're going to be going through today. Yo, Ozzy, what's going on? Momentous day. Channel is strike free. It expired last night. Let's go. Chapter 118, Someone's Out There. Kobe and Helmeppo's Chronicle of Toil, Volume 29, Farewell for Now. And it cuts to the little girl who was taking care of Zoro back at, Captain Morgan's Island area, and she's beating on the heads of the Marines because they let both Helmeppo and Kobe, mostly Kobe, go with Garp to Navy HQ. I guess the girl wanted to see them again. So let's continue. And Dory, and here we go, another arc 4 kids skipped over. Look, Ozzy. So much they skipped over in the anime. There's no mention of Dory and Broggy whatsoever in the 4 Kids dub. You can't tell me that they didn't think that. See, the thing is, they did not think it completely through. They didn't think it completely through when they bought the rights to, broadcast One Piece over here in the US. They didn't think it through completely. They didn't understand the vision of One Piece. They didn't understand that in order for us to understand the motivations of some characters, you need to leave some of these arcs in. Like the whole matter where Usopp was facing off against Chu during Arlong Park, that isn't even mentioned. It's not even referenced. The whole reason that Usopp drives himself to fight Chu in the first place isn't even present in the 4 Kids dub. So many important character developments completely left out. Absolutely insane. But Dory stands up, sword and shield drawn, and Vivi goes, "Wait, Mr. Dory, we're innocent. We don't know anything about the exploding ale. Please don't attack us. Your insides are torn up. You've got to keep still." "You humans dare to trick the mighty Dory!" And he slashes his sword in the direction of Luffy, because, Vivi's off to the side, and Dory is still coughing up a little bit of blood. And then Luffy jumps off of his sword and aims directly for Dory's face. Gum! And before Luffy can do anything, Dory just slaps him aside. And as Dory prepares to bring his sword down on Luffy, Luffy uses his arms to stretch himself and then, slingshot himself in the opposite direction before Dory can even hit him. And as Dory keeps doing all of these moves, he keeps coughing up blood again. So his insides are really messed up. Gum! Sorry. Rocket! And Luffy headbutts Dory directly in his midsection, causing Dory to drop his sword and, the force of the blow to get hit extremely hard. And then Luffy is stuck underneath the boot of Dory. Huh? And Dory stomps on him right then and there. And then it shows Dory just standing there still coughing up blood because his insides basically blew up. Even giants are not, invincible from that standpoint. Luffy! Devil fruit powers. So that's what you are. I underestimated you. As it cuts to Dory dropping to his knees, shaking, and then falling forward. Then it cuts to Luffy under the footprint of Dory as he's been, squashed into the ground with the shape of his body being pressed into the ground. Ah! Luffy! Are you hurt? How's the giant? I think he's all right. On the bright side, this is probably the only way we could get him to rest. Now I'm mad! Yes, the giant was right. Someone spiked that ale. It sure wasn't the other giant. And my people would never pull a dirty trick like that. There's somebody else on this island. And then it cuts to another location, and it cuts to this big T-Rex biting on this structure, and it breaks its teeth on it. And it's like a weird house that looks like it's melting. You're in my way, lizard. Is that Mr. 5? Okay, I'm gonna tell you that my knowledge of where these characters were, or where they shown up, I'm seeing all of this for the first time. So when Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine were defeated in Whiskey Peak, I honestly thought that was the last time we would see them, because I remember watching the Whiskey Peak episodes in the 4Kids dub, but I did not watch the rest of the anime from that point on, as far as both the 4Kids dub and the uncut dub, or the regular episode, or the the subs as well. So I didn't know whether or not they showed up in the story. So this is the first time that I'm seeing him showing up again. You're in my way, lizard. And Mr. 5 says that before we see Miss Valentine go,
"Let me handle this. 10,000 killer press."
And using her devil fruit ability, she jumps up she lightens herself and jumps up into the air, and then she increases her weight and then crushes the head of this T-Rex. And both Miss Valentine and Mr. 5 walk into this building, and we come across Miss Golden Week and Mr. 3 inside of this house. Hey, so you're back, eh, Mr. 5? Huh, not bad. A quickie house right in the jungle. Look, this is still our mission, so stay out of it.
We won't screw it up again.
Screw up? That's not it. You two are weak. What?
We were just a little careless. We didn't know the princess had pirates guarding her.
You didn't know? That's a childish excuse. We're professionals. To lose to the enemy and leave corpses lying around is like announcing our existence to the world. We have to execute our missions. Perfectly. But because you had the persistence to follow them here, we'll give you 30% of the reward. And if that's not acceptable, I'll kill you both right now. Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine. And Miss Golden Week is just asleep on the other side of the building. Don't look so perturbed. Have some English tea. This is a great opportunity. We can make a big score on this island without even getting our hands dirty. Surely you know about it.
A big score?
Look at this wanted poster. I was shocked when I saw it. Thank you for giving me the chance to come to this island. And Mr. 3 shows a very old poster, a very old bounty poster of Dorian Broggy. I'm just now learning about all this stuff. I've been so blind to the history of One Piece. Like, I can talk about my experience with One Piece just from the anime episodes, but reading the chapters is so fundamentally different. Experiencing this for the very first time, I've been depriving myself for years. I apologize. This wanted poster is 100 years old. Once there was a band of giant pirates who ravaged the seas, burned towns, and terrorized the world. They were called the Giant Pirate Warrior Band, and their evil leaders were two legendary monsters, Dory the Blue and Broggy the Red. They're alive and kicking on this very island. And the bounty on their heads, back then, still holds. They're worth 100 million berries each. That's 200 million for the two of them. 200 million? Now you understand? If we complete our mission and bring back heads worth 200 million, we're sure to be promoted. So that's why you had us put the bomb in the giant sail. That's right. We wouldn't stand a chance against them in a fair fight. Just do as I say. A little creativity, and even the biggest mountain can be made to crumble. So, it's because of Mr. 3 in them that they poisoned Dory and Broggy's drink. You old sneaky little devils. Then it cuts to the volcano exploding again.
Huh? The volcano!
And then it cuts to Broggy, who probably saw it in the distance.
Ho 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 ho! The call to battle. What a day!
You're gonna fight, but your wounds! I think that's Vivi saying that.
You're gonna fight, but your wounds!
that wouldn't make any difference to him.
Ho 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 ho! In a fight to the finish with no quarter, it would be a disgrace to make excuses. And then Dory struggles to get up, even though he's massively hurt. You could train your body on the outside all the days of your life, but it's fundamentally impossible for you to train your organs to withstand punishment. It simply cannot be done. Unless you're in anime, where that sort of thing really doesn't matter. Hey, wait, Mr. Giant, don't go!
No, Mr. Dory, you can't get up. You'll die.
I find it funny how Vivi has honestly been calling Dory by his name this entire time, and yet Luffy, even though he's within earshot of Vivi, still calls people by their nicknames. Even though he can hear their names, he still calls them by their nicknames.
No, Mr. Dory, you can't get up. You'll die.
I am the warrior Dory. I
And no, that's actually him coughing.
cannot disgrace the name of Elbaf.
And that is the end of chapter 118. SBS! Reader! Well, I'd like to begin the question corner now, but I shouldn't be the one to start it, so let's have Oda-sensei do it. Sensei? Sensei! What? He's asleep? Oh well, I'll start it then. Begin the SBS! And then it cuts to Oda. Oda snoring. Rats! I overslept. Oh, it's time for the question corner. Oh, and it's already started again. A warrior's honor and pride. You're absolutely right, Ozzy. The pride, it's not just the honor side of it, it's the pride of it as well. And they've been doing this for over 100 years. They've been doing this for 100 years. It's the pride of being a warrior from Elbaf. Same as like Vegeta in a way, like the pride of being a Saiyan and whatnot. Question. What's up, Oda? Luffy. Oh boy, I know, Ozzy, I know. What's up, Oda-sensei? Here's my question. This has been keeping me up all night, so please hear me out. What does the pura in tempura mean? Get out of here! Who cares about pura? I just woke up. And then, this is Oda being cranky from waking up. Question. Hello, Oda-sensei. I'm Kazuya, Mr. Yano's adoring follower. What is it? Sei Shei Kabe Shei Kabayashi, a friend told me about this. In volume 10, on Nami's outfit on page 87, and on Helmeppo's cap on page... In volume 10, on Nami's outfit on page 87, and on Helmeppo's cap on page 109, I had to correct myself. I was just messing that up massively. There was a picture of Doskoi Panda. Is this a real animal? Sorry about that. Vacuuming outside. Well, vacuuming outside my room. Is this, there was a picture of Doskoi Panda. Is this a real animal? Answer. It's a brand currently popular in the East Blue. Pretty expensive stuff. One t-shirt costs over 10,000 berries. But watch out for imitation Doskoi Panda merchandise. Doskoi Panda. Doskoi Panda's main store is on Mirrorball Island in the East Blue. They must want to get underneath the floorboards. And that's the end of SBS. Now to Chapter 119, Deadly Improvisation. Kobe and Helmeppel's Chronicle of Toil, the final chapter. Garp laughs as the boys fight hard. And Garp is just enjoying watching Kobe and Helmeppel training against that same officer who cut apart Kobe's guns when he was trying to keep them from firing on Helmeppel. And then we cut to Usopp. Good luck, Master Broggy!
This time I mean to take him down, Usopp.
He sure enjoys this useless fighting.
Don't say that, fool!
Because, Usopp is very much inspired by Broggy and Dory and their fighting, and he aspires to be like a brave warrior just like them. As Broggy walks off.
Anyway, let's get back to the ship. If the logboat takes a year to reset, that's ridiculous. We've got to wait on the ship for the others and work out a plan.
Hold it! Just hold it! I can't do anything against dinosaurs. Therefore, it's impossible for us to reach the ship through the jungle.
I just heard you say you wanted to be a brave warrior.
I was just thinking out loud. I want to be a man who can be proud of the way he lives.
Well, Luffy and Vivi are at the other giant's place. Let's head over there.
Even if someday I lose everything and face death alone on a deserted isle, I'll die proud of the way I lived, and I'll say, I am Usopp, a brave warrior of the sea. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. I wish this bravery of yours would kick in already.
Oh, right.
Because as Usopp is saying this, his whole body is gone completely limp, and Nami has to drag him. And then it cuts to something being moved and rumbling, and then it cuts to Luffy. Ah, what's the big idea, you big jerk? What's the idea, you big jerk? Get your house off of me!
I must go to battle.
He literally... Okay, so the whole area where Dory is living, he lifted it, and he put Luffy under it so Luffy can't move. He literally sat his house on top of Luffy.
I must go to battle. 100 years ago, I picked this fight. If I didn't show up now, it would tarnish my name as a warrior. And to lose my good name would be to lose my very self. Forgive me for suspecting you humans. This is the judgment of Elbaf, the god of war. Divine protection was not with me. That's all.
Gods? Divine protection? What's that got to do with anything? Would you give up your life just because the gods wanted you to? Your battle was interfered with. This fight's not fair.
Silence! You humans have only lived for 10 or 20 years. You can't possibly understand Elbaf's secret words.
Who cares about that? Get this mountain off of me!
Oh, Dory, after all these years, wasn't that ale refreshing? I like the nectar of the gods. Ho 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 ho! You big talking blowhard, here I come!
And then it cuts to Dory, still injured and laughing with Broggy. And Luffy keeps getting angrier and angrier that he can't move the mountain off. He was such a great warrior, too!
Why does he care so much about a giant he just met? He doesn't act like an outlaw with a price on his head.
Who was it? Who did this?
Hey, where's Karoo?
Goes Vivi. And then we cut to Mr. 3. Victory can be achieved through psychological warfare. The Straw Hats are totally confused now by the bomb of an unseen enemy. Our first target is Dory the Blue. I knew it wouldn't be easy to kill him. I knew it wouldn't be enough to kill him, but that bomb did serious damage to his stomach. He's no match for us now. Our battle is well begun. Just think of these warriors as wild boars. As long as you don't fight them head on, they're not much of a threat. As for the small fry who've learned our boss's secret, well, we can lure them into the jungle and pick them off at one at a time, with my service set. My motto is improvise and conquer. There are countless ways to defeat an enemy without fighting. And then it cuts to Zoro. Rats. I'm lost. I'm sure I saw this tree before. Turn left at the vine-wrapped tree, right?
And it shows Zoro dragging the Triceratops behind him. Reminder, this man is dragging a whole dinosaur behind him because he's basically killed it. He's dragging it by the horn, just casually. He's not just pulling it, he's got it like up under his arm, and he's just walking with a full-size Triceratops, just dragging it. Something ain't right about your muscles, Zoro.
Turn left at the vine-wrapped tree, right? Huh? Hey! Hi, Nami. What great timing. I'm lost. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, what are you doing here? Huh?
And then it shows Nami smiling. And then someone screaming, "Ah! Ah! Dinosaur! Dinosaur!" And then Usopp is way ahead of Nami, and he's just like, this man is booking it. If you've seen that video of that dude running through that underground parking lot and he's going from side to side, that's Usopp. He's just like, meow. He's already gone. "Hey, slow down!" goes Nami. "Oh, that guy." And then it cuts to Nami seeing Luffy going, "Luffy, thank goodness. What are you doing here?" That's not Luffy. Because Luffy's stuck under a mountain. Luffy? And then all of a sudden, something happens to Luffy, and it surprises Nami. Ah! Huh? Nami? 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 This is bad! He's dragging something that weighs 20 tons. Exactly. 1 ton is one thing. 20 is another altogether. This is bad! And then it cuts to Usopp screaming, "Ah! Luffy!" And he runs face first into a rock with enough force to actually crack the rock and bloody his face from running headfirst into it. "This is terrible! Nami! A dinosaur ate Nami!" "It what?" And Luffy is just, screaming his head off too. "It what?" "We were running through the jungle to get away from the dinosaurs, and she suddenly disappeared. What have I done? I let my shipmate die!" "Wait a minute." And then it cuts to Vivi going, "Wait a minute, calm down. You said Nami suddenly disappeared, but didn't you go back and check on her?" "How could I? I was so scared!" "If it wasn't a dinosaur, then it was a wild beast. Then what else could it have been?" I don't know, but what if some Baroque Works agents followed us to this island?" "Of the two of you, Nami's the one they take. After all, you're probably not even on their hit list. That ale might have been the work of the ones who were after us before." "Ale? What are you talking about?" And then they tell him what happened to Dory. "What? The ale exploded in his stomach? Then he went off to fight with his insides all torn up? But they've been fighting full tilt for 100 years. It's probably the most honorable battle in all of history. It can't end like this!" Because now even Usopp is insulted about these events. Luffy was insulted, and now Usopp is insulted. And it cuts to Dory and Broggy fighting each other. "What's wrong, Dory? You're off today."
I'm as good as ever.
And then it cuts to Mr. 3, who's right there, right next to their fight. "This Dory is pretty tenacious. Maybe I should lend a hand." And then something appears under Dory's foot and causes him to slip.
You're mine, Dory!
And that's the end of chapter 119. On to the SBS and then chapter 120. Question! Attention! I've got a question I'd like to ask you, Mr. Oda. Isn't the photograph on the cover flap of Volume 13 the same as the one of the cover flap of Shaman King Volume 8? Huh? From a guy who wants to be called Machi. Answer: you're right. As a rule, I don't put my photo in my comics. If my face becomes known, I'll have all kinds of problems in my daily life. Mr. Take's Shaman King series, which also runs in Shonen Jump, was coming out the same month as One Piece, so we thought it'd be funny to use the same photo in both books. So the one sitting cross-legged is me, but the one is smoking is Mr. Take. Question: Miss Valentine's outfit is really cute. By the way, are those oranges on her dress? I'm curious. Answer: they're lemons. Round slices of lemons. So now you know what type of fruit is on her dress, if you were wondering. Question: Mr. Five's Inez Palm Cannon from Volume 13 is basically boogers, right? Answer: that's right. When I came up with the idea, I burst out laughing. The concept of just digging in your nose and flicking it and it exploding. That came from Oda, everybody. That's canon. Chapter 120, The Red Ogre Weeps. And it cuts to Dory as he's still slipping back. And it cuts to Mr. 3 with, like, the biggest cheese on his face. And it cuts to Broggy.
A century! It was a long battle!
And it cuts to Dory finally delivering a solid hit. It cuts to Broggy delivering a solid hit on Dory. And we just see blood shoot into the air. And the blood is so high in the air that Luffy and company can see it from a great distance away. Like, the blood is shooting up from the middle of the forest, and it's high enough that Luffy and company can see it. And it's just silence as Dory falls, as he gets cut across the chest by Broggy. And then Dory falls to the ground. And then it cuts back to Luffy thinking of Dory's words.
This is the judgment of Elbaf, god of battle. Divine protection is not with me. That's all.
And then it cuts to Dory's current unconscious-looking face, like he's not moving at all. And then Luffy just starts headbutting his head into the ground in frustration. Luffy! Luffy? Who are you? Show yourself! And he screams out, trying to find who this individual is. And then it cuts to Miss Golden Week as she's walking with Mr. 3.
Mr. 3, I think I heard something.
How funny. You can hear the howl of a defeated dog in the village. In the jungle. Why do I keep saying village? Why do I keep saying village? Why is village on my brain? You can hear the howl of a defeated dog in the jungle. And then it cuts to Broggy, who's standing next to Dory.
73,467 battles.
And he's just breathing out heavily. And then as he stands over Dory, he begins crying profusely.
And one victory.
And he drops his axe. He drops his axe. He drops his axe, and then he just starts laughing. And then it cuts to Mr. 3, who's just talking. He's talking to Brock. He's just off on the side. This dude is still drinking tea. He's still drinking tea. He's still drinking tea despite everything that's going on. You weep with joy because you won, eh? The simple-minded are so easily delighted. Well, I suppose congratulations are in order, for now.
Weep with joy? What would you know? Who are you?
My code name is Mr. 3. I work with wax. And this is my assistant, Miss Golden Week, an artist of gravity. And now you're my prisoner. Huh? As it cuts to Broggy's legs being caught in some sort of odd substance.
What? What is this?
Okay, Luffy. I'm gonna find whoever did this, and I'm gonna kill him!
I'll come with you, says Vivi, as Usopp is already mad and upset about the current events.
Good! Come along! I can use the moral support!
No need for that. And then it cuts to Luffy as he goes, Oh, You guys did this! And then Luffy gets mad and upset to the point where his muscles are flexing in anger. Like you can see the veins and the contours of his muscles as he's just completely livid right now. And Vivi looks in shock as we see Mr. Five and Ms. Valentine bring along a beaten and defeated Karoo.
You can have him back. We finished with him.
As we see Karoo just bloodied and beaten right between them.
Karoo! Karoo! Why? Karoo had nothing to do with this. Who are these guys?
They were at Whiskey Peak. That's right. This bird had nothing to do with it. The only danger to us was the boy with the straw hat. We had to lure the princess away from him. So we needed the duck to call out to her. But he was stubborn. Now,
and it cuts back to a flashback when Karoo comes across Mr. Five.
Now quack and call your mistress.
Yeah! Just give us one loud quack and we'll let you go.
And then Karoo, teary-eyed and scared, starts shaking his head no, I'm not going to call her.
Huh? Too bad. Then we'll have to make you quack. Call the princess. Go on. Quack for help.
As Mr. Five punches Karoo in the face. And Karoo, despite being beaten up, refuses to call for Vivi.
Quack, you stupid duck. But, well, it looks like Straw Hat's already immobilized, so we don't need this duck anymore.
Karoo! What a stupid bird.
That might be the laugh that I use for Miss Valentine.
You dirty.
Then it was you! You rigged the ale to explode!
Huh? Yes, that was us. Who are you? Was he on the list?
No, but he must be one of them. Let's rub him out.
You messed up the giant's battle! You did it! I'll rip you to pieces!
And then it cuts to Luffy still struggling to get out from underneath the mountain. And then it cuts to Vivi, who opens up her jacket, and she still has that swirly outfit on, and she pulls out threads from, I don't know if I should say where she's pulling these knives from, but she goes,
You're the ones who's gonna get rubbed out.
and she pulls like her peacock slashers out from the front of her outfit. I don't know how that works. I'm not going to think about it too much. But she pulls it out from the front of her outfit. Use your imagination. And she goes,
You're the ones who's gonna get rubbed out.
Oh ho. So you want to play, Miss Wednesday?
Think you can beat 2 officer agents? Peacock Slasher!
Eat this! Certain death!
as Usopp and Vivi prepare to face off against Mr. Five and Miss Valentine.
Exploding star!
And Usopp shoots Mr. Five, and he gets engulfed in an explosion.
What a blast!
As Miss Valentine is airborne.
Huh?
And then it shows Mr. Five curling up his fingers from this dust cloud and using that same nasty move again, Nez Palm Cannon, and he engulfs Usopp in it.
My condolences! Usopp! 10,000 kilopress!
And it cuts to Miss Valentine dropping down on top of Usopp. Just full force using her 10,000 kilopress on Usopp. And then it cuts to Vivi fighting Mr. Five. And as she tries to slash at him, he makes his leg explode, causing her to be tripped up. As he goes,
Now calm down. Don't get excited. We're not going to kill you guys yet.
as he grabs Vivi by the throat.
We're just here to capture you, per Mr. Three's orders.
And then Luffy can only look on as Vivi is being held hostage.
Mr. 3, the Wax Fruit Man. The Wax Fruit Man? He's here?
That's right. He uses the wax his body produces as a weapon. He's the human candle.
Coward! What's your game?
Huh? You want to know? As it cuts to Mr. 3 using his wax fruit powers on Broggy. And now we know how basically all this stuff happened. The house is basically a house of wax where Mr. 3 and company were staying in. Dory got tripped up by like a wax slick underneath his foot, which allowed Broggy to slash across him. And now Broggy is trapped in a whole bunch of wax by Mr. 3.
Coward! What's your game?
Huh? You want to know? I'm going to create a work of art, of course.
And that is the end of chapter 120. Onwards to chapter 121. I knew! And it's just, there's no cover page or anything since we already seen the Helmeppo's toil. We already seen that. But it cuts to Miss Valentine as she has Vivian in arm lock.
Ow! Behave yourself. Did you really think someone like you could escape from Baroque works?
As we cut to a defeated Karoo and a defeated Usopp. And then we cut to Luffy, who's just down on the ground as well. I mean, obviously he's down on the ground. He's still stuck underneath a whole mountain right now. And Luffy is unmoving at the moment too. And apparently he's been blown up by Mr. 5. Yeah, he's been blown up by Mr. 5 because it shows his body all singed. So he most likely blew up Luffy in order to keep him down.
Even the one worth 30 million berries turned out to be a loser.
That pays him back for what he did at Whiskey Peak. You pirates shouldn't have involved yourselves in our affairs. We've captured your swordsman friend and the other girl as well. You caught Zoro? Then you're doomed. You can still talk, even after getting a full face of my kicky bomb.
Bleh, drop dead.
And he spits on Mr. 5's shoe. And then Miss Valentine goes,
Pathetic.
and then Mr. 5 doesn't say anything, but he kicks Luffy in the face, blowing up his foot and Luffy as well.
Luffy!
And as this explosion happens, Usopp is still embedded in the ground because of Miss Valentine's 10,000 kilogram killer press. Die! And as Mr. 5 is standing there, Luffy continues to move.
Fool.
Luffy!
As Vivi is being taken away by Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine.
Let's go, Miss Valentine.
Usopp! Karoo!
And then Vivi can only look away in sadness as she's being taken by Mr. 5 and Valentine. And Luffy's just laying there. And then we hear a massive wham sound as Broggy is struggling to try and get out from this wax that Mr. 3 has him trapped under. Ha! You little swine! Give up! The candle jacket I put on you is harder than steel by now. You're my prisoner, giant, and not even your great strength can save you now. In your exultation over your victory, you let down your guard, Red Ogre. Don't glare at me like that, it frightens me. Aren't you happy? Your long battle is finally over. So what have you won with the help of a human? Victory is still sweet, isn't it? Coward! No! But I am the real winner here. Did you know that the bounty on your heads from long ago, that colossal sum of money, is still collectible? You dirty little... And then it cuts to Vivi, who's there now going,
So that's what you were after, Mr. 3?
We have her.
We caught the traitorous wench. What a cowardly trick, planting a bomb in Mr. Dory's ale.
Ale? The ale I gave him? That ale?
Oh, your boy's gonna get mad now. Your boy's gonna get mad now. The warriors of Elbaf are honorable people who live by a code, if we go off of Dory and Broggy. So to think that the very same drink that he was happy to give Dory was spiked with a bomb Oh, it's getting good. I'm enjoying this chapter so much.
Ale? The ale I gave him? That ale? Oh, Dory, after all these years, wasn't that ale refreshing? Aye, like the nectar of the gods. Is that what it was? Dory, my friend?
You gave away my secret, big mouth. Candle lock! As Mr. 3 creates like a shackle, like a big, wide shackle that locks Vivi in place where she can't move her legs at all. Mr. 5, bring me the swordsman and the girl. It's time for my extra, why can I say, I'm looking at the word I'm supposed to be saying next, but I can't even say the word I'm saying previously. That's on me. It's time for my extra special candelabra! And then he creates a massive wave of wax, which then turns into a massive candle with like a pumpkin, like a scary pumpkin type face into it. It's just like a massive candle that's just burning. And then it cuts to Zoro and Nami, who get thrown in front of Mr. 5.
Ow! What? What is that? Vivi, I thought you were with Luffy. Yes, well.
If you mean Straw Hat, I got rid of him. Oh, yeah? And Zoro just laughs it off. Experience my extra special candelabra, folks! And then it cuts to Nami, Zoro, and Vivi, who are on this candelabra.
What's that spinning up there?
Now I know how it feels to be a candle on a birthday cake. And Vivi isn't saying anything.
I can't move my legs.
He's immobilized us, and I have a feeling it's not because he enjoys our company.
Something's raining down on us.
My favorite, my extra special candelabra! The waxy mist raining down on your heads will soon turn you into wax figures. Not even my skill in the plastic arts could create such perfect human figures. You'll be wax figures with real souls. Die in the name of art.
Forget it! We don't want to be we don't want to be your stupid art! Broggy, don't just lie there! Fight! He'll turn you into wax too! You must have eaten all your vegetables as a kid, huh?
And Nami's freaking out. It's no use talking to that one. He learned the truth a short while ago, without realizing his friend Dory was hurt. He slew him after a battle of 100 years. He was so filled with pride that he started crying. Were you weeping for your friend, or at your own stupidity? It doesn't matter. What's done is done, you great fool. And Zoro isn't saying anything.
I knew it. From the moment we began trading blows, I knew Dory was hiding something.
You did? You say you knew? Don't lie. If you knew, then why didn't you stop the fight? I didn't see any hint of mercy in your attack.
Worm, you know nothing of duels and honor. You could never understand why I cried. You know nothing. He was a proud warrior who chose to fight despite his injuries. How could I shame him by refusing him battle? When he was willing to suffer so in order to fight, how could I dishonor him by showing mercy?
And then it cuts to Broggy, who gets furious and angry as Mr. 3 starts to shiver.
But now I know the whole story, and I shall destroy you with my own hand!
As that very same candle jacket that Mr. 3 was so proud of starts to break under the strength of a giant.
I owe my friend Dory that much!
As Broggy starts to break from the candle jacket. And then Mr. 3 starts freaking out as Dory starts to break out of as Broggy, as Broggy starts to break out of it. But before he can do anything, there's a cannon! And then it cuts to someone going,
Mr. Broggy!
Noisy monster. As it cuts to Mr. 5 blowing up, causing an explosion to happen at the face of Broggy. And then it cuts to Luffy and Usopp.
Usopp, are we gonna let them get away with this?
No. No way.
Then it cuts to Karoo, who starts slamming and pecking at the ground in front of Luffy.
Are you mad? Are you mad too, Bird?
Quack!
Okay, let's go clobber those guys!
Yo, Drew, good to see you. And that's the end of chapter 121. We got another SBS, and then we can continue to chapter 122. Question. Hello, Mr. Oda. They call me Sayaka. On page 79 of volume 11, on the right corner of the fourth frame, there's a drunk guy. How come? Come on, Paul. Come on, pal, tell me. And it's the scene where all the citizens were were making their way towards Arlong Park because they intended to fight him after, Nojiko got shot. There's a drunk dude just running along with the crowd. Answer. I'm very glad you noticed that. That man's name is Sam. He's drunk. He was staggering home after his daughter's wedding when he came upon the Arlong Park crowd. He saw a bunch of people making merry, so he joined them. That's Sam. It's literally just a regular dude named Sam in the world of One Piece. We got Nami, we got Zoro, Sanji, Usopp. We got Luffy. We got Zeph. We got Don Krieg. And then we have Sam. Sam. Drunk Sam. Okay. Chapter... Oh, wait, I'm not even done yet. And then we have another question. What is this proscrito? You guys told me the pronunciation of... I gotta look it up again. What is the correct pronunciation? How do you say it? Hold on, I need to hear it. How do you say it? Because I see it right here. How do you pronounce it? Here we go. Prosciutto! I've been saying it wrong this whole time! It's so simple! It's 3 syllables! I thought it was a fancy word. Prosciutto. Prosciutto. It's just called prosciutto. Oh my goodness. It's just pronounced prosciutto. Okay. I can't mispronounce this anymore because it's a type of meat as well. So I definitely can't mispronounce this anymore. Thank you, Kohagen. Prosciutto. Question. What's this prosciutto and melon mentioned in volume 11? See volume 11, page 87. So to everyone who they probably are following along with this series, to everyone, me mispronouncing prosciutto back then, it's just another example of me not knowing how to say food names. I apologize for everyone who saw that whole read-through of me trying to struggle against how to say prosciutto. But now I know it. Prosciutto. I know how to say it now. It's never going to leave my mind. It's in my vocabulary now. What's this prosciutto and melon mentioned in volume 11? It's an Italian appetizer that combines the saltiness of prosciutto and the sweetness of melon in exquisite harmony. There are many different variations of it. Question. Where can I learn Fishman karate? Please tell me. Answer. On Fishman Island. It's about halfway along the Grand Line. It'll come up eventually, so just relax and wait. Chapter 122, A Dead Body is Useless. And it cuts to Brocky after suffering the explosion from Mr. 5.
Broggy! Yeah! The fool!
Yuck. Miss Golden Week doesn't say anything, and Mr. 3 continues.
I underestimated him. Giants are incredibly strong. I never thought he'd be able to break my candle jacket.
And then Broggy continues to glare. You'll forget it again. Don't say it. Though you're not wrong. I probably might forget it again. I probably might. I'm saying that I won't forget it, but y'all know how my memory be sometimes when it comes to pronunciations and words. Y'all know me. Y'all know me too well, especially you, Kohagen. You know me too well.
I never thought he'd be able to break my candle jacket.
And Broggy stares down Mr. 3. I'll have to secure him more thoroughly. Wax, wax, arts, sword! As he creates a giant sword out of wax, and then he stabs into the hand of Broggy. Now stay put! He impales the hand of Broggy to the ground with this wax sword.
Broggy!
If you move, your hands and feet will be torn off. As it cuts to him embedding swords in all of his hands and feet. Like, he's... Yo, I didn't know this. I didn't know this at all. He just stabs it. I didn't know that Dorian Broggy went through all of this. I didn't know. I did not know. This is all new to me. But it cuts to Broggy having all of his hands and feet just impaled on these, wax swords. Ah!
You cruel monster.
Vivi. Speed up, my extra special candelabra! Hurry up and turn them into wax figures! As he starts using his wax powers to spin the candelabra even faster. And then the candle starts throwing out more and more wax as Nami and company, including, Zoro and Vivi, start to get covered more and more in wax. Now, Nami is reacting to this. She's coughing, going,
My chest hurts.
And Vivi goes,
The wax is getting in our lungs. He means to turn us into wax figures from the inside out.
And then Zoro isn't saying anything. He's just looking up at it. That's right! Die in agony! Agony is the look I seek. Let your bodies become monuments to horror! Forget you. And then it cuts to Nami, who goes,
Forget your art, you twisted, top-knotted fiend! How dare you do that to Broggy? You guys are gonna pay for this, you hear me?
Shout your head off. And then it cuts to Nami going,
Zoro, don't just stand there, do something!
And then it cuts back to Broggy, who's just filled with anger.
100 years. Day after day, we fought each other. We fought and fought. We were warriors of Elbaf. Our pride made us fight on. If this is our end, O Elbaf, it is too cruel. Would you deny me an honorable death in battle?
And it cuts back to Broggy, who's crying again, from the frustration of him possibly dying in a dishonorable way. He's probably the type to laugh like this. What an expression! That look of tortured bitterness. I love it! Grief, torment, what a magnificent work of art! And it cuts to Miss Valentine, who's laughing with him.
Elbaf.
As it cuts to Broggy slowly being covered in wax.
I can't move my hand! No! I can't die like this! Isn't there some way out?
And Zoro isn't saying anything. He's just standing stoic. He's just got his arms crossed this whole time. He has not reacted any sort of way towards this at all.
Our bodies are already beginning to harden. You can still move, can't you, giant?
And then, no, this is Zoro who finally speaks as he goes, You can still move, can't you, giant? And then, yo, Ogata-san, we are on chapter 122 of volume 14. And we're dealing with Mr. 3 in his extra special candelabra. But Zoro says, You can still move, can't you, giant? A giant without hands and feet is still more useful than a dead man. And then we hear a voice go,
I can move too.
Oh no, Zoro goes, I can move too. If I cut off my legs, how about we crush these guys together? And then it cuts to Nami going,
Your legs? Your own legs? You can't be serious. How can you say that at a time like this?
Is there a better way to say it? What are you girls gonna do?
Do? It's hopeless. Even if we do get down from here, they'll just trap you again.
You never know until you try, right? We're dead if we stay here, that's for sure. I say we go out putting up the ugliest fight we can. Why lie down and die for these creeps, right?
And then it cuts to Mr. 5.
What's he saying? Is he crazy?
He's bluffing. He could never do it. He's all talk.
You're a cocky lad. I'd almost lost my will to fight. But I'm with you. I like your spirit.
And then the air just... Then it cuts to Broggy, who starts moving. What?
You're not serious, are you? Without your legs, how will you fight?
Don't know, but I'll fight to win.
And they both Vivi and Nami can only look on as Zoro is pretty much prepared to cut off his own legs in order to fight everyone down there.
I'll fight to win.
And then it cuts to Brocky, who's still laughing. And then it cuts to Mr. 3. What's wrong with these people?
They've lost their minds.
And then it cuts back to Vivi thinking of Igaram.
Princess Vivi, it's up to you to save the kingdom.
Wait, I'm with you too! Vivi!
Good.
Let's do it!
This is ridiculous! I'll kill you all! And then it cuts to Zoro preparing to cut his legs, and then it cuts to Nami, who closes her eyes because she doesn't want to see Zoro cut his own legs off. And then there's a crack sound. There's a crack sound as Luffy, Usopp, and Karoo go careening through the forest. All three of them fighting mad. And they go sailing through the air. Hey, you jerks! Get ready to die! And they kind of overshoot the whole crowd because they go sailing into the other side of the forest across from, the Baroque agents and Nami and company. They overshoot them. They just go sailing into the distance. They're just gone. They're just gone. What the? Usopp! Bird! Get him!
All right! Ah! Luffy! Usopp! Karoo!
Master Broggy will avenge you. Usopp.
Batter these creeps beyond recognition and blow them far, far away!
You got it! These guys spoiled the Giants' battle! And Luffy is here. Oh, hands will be laid upon the sick and depraved. So your head carries the highest price in all the East Blue, eh? The Navy certainly has lowered its standards.
Yeah, look at that weird hair!
Shut up, you! Wow, it's a 3, and it's on fire. Shut up!
Never mind that, Luffy. Break the pillar behind us. We're being turned into wax figures.
Oh, you're in danger?
Nope, no problem here.
And it cuts to Zoro just like, we're not a problem. We're not in any trouble. And it cuts to Nami looking down at his legs as they're apparently covered in blood.
Hey, your legs are bleeding.
Yeah, I guess I hacked about halfway through them.
Zoro is laughing at the fact that he pretty much almost cut through his legs. And they're bleeding right now. He was in the process of cutting his legs when Luffy and company came crashing in. He was already in the act of trying to cut through his legs. He says he's cut about halfway through his legs. I didn't know this man actually cut in his legs. I told y'all I'm experiencing this for the very first time. This man cut into his legs. Okay, you learned something new. All right.
Hey, your legs are bleeding.
Yeah, I guess I hacked about halfway through them.
You call that no problem?
Anyway, Luffy, could you break the pillar? We'll let you finish up here.
Sure. I can't let you do that, as Luffy prepares to face off against Mr. 3. And that's the end of Chapter 122. Onwards to 123. Chapter 123. Luffy versus Mr. 3.
I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna wreck it.
Oh, so that's where Wreck-It Ralph got the inspiration from.
Gotcha!
Gotcha. Oh wait, who's saying it? I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna wreck it.
Gotcha! I feel as good as new! Hurry up, we're getting stiff!
As it cuts to the candelabra that's still spinning, while Mr. 3 and the other Baroque agent stand in between them.
What are you doing?
If I'm going to be a statue, I want this pose.
Idiot, this is no time to be playing.
As Zorro's like, well, if I'm gonna die, I might as well go out like a true swordsman. But there ain't no way this man's gonna let himself die, not after he promised to become the greatest swordsman in the world. But I guess that's one thought he's had in mind at the time.
Forget that, do something to stop your leg from bleeding. Just looking at it hurts me.
Then don't look at it.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I can't stand looking at it. Then don't look at it. It's such a simple, blunt answer, but he's not wrong though. If you're looking at something that you say hurts you, stop looking at it. It's so simple. It's so simple, and yet at the same time, it's like, that's how I feel about whenever I see things or people say certain things like, I can't watch this. Then don't watch. I can't stand listening to this music. Then don't listen to it. I can't stand eating this food or drinking this drink. Then stop eating and drinking it. It's so simple. But people expect you to have 170 IQ to give them the correct answer to have. Or, have an internet platform to convince them and influence them. But, back to it.
Forget that, do something to stop your leg from bleeding. Just looking at it hurts me.
Then don't look at it.
What kind of fool cuts off his leg so he can run away?
You got it wrong. I was going to cut off my leg so I could fight.
That's even stupider.
Shut up, okay?
And now you see that he's as crazy as his captain. Yeah. You gotta be at least partially, if not completely crazy, in order to run with Luffy and his crew. You have to be. It's actually a requirement.
Shut
up, okay?
Nothing seems to rattle these people, Mr. 3.
And Miss Golden Week is just sitting down having herself a little mini picnic as she's eating some rice crackers. The same is true of you! The same is true of you, Miss Golden Week.
We're still being turned into wax figures. It's almost as if they have no sense that they're in danger.
These people don't seem to respect our power. That's most annoying. He doesn't look like any threat at all. Oh, he's looking at Luffy saying this?
Okay.
Mr. 3, let us finish him off. Finish him off? Don't be ridiculous. Just look at him. Your attacks on him failed miserably. He's still very much alive. Obviously, your team can't deal with him. You two, clean up that trash behind him. I'm going to add Straw Hat Luffy to my collection of wax figures.
You scumbags talk too much. You went too far. Now rest in pieces.
As Luffy and Usopp prepare to fight everyone, but they're saying all this stuff hiding deep in the woods.
Okay, we'll back you up, Luffy.
Huh? Did you say something?
It seems we don't get to fight after all, eh, lad?
Yeah, it looks like. It looks like they'll be taking it from here.
And then it cuts to... Looks are deceiving, Mr. 3. Exactly, Ozzy, exactly. Take that! Candle lock! And Mr. 3 locks Luffy's legs together, just like he did with Vivi.
He's caught! Luffy!
Ugh. Hey, what's this? It's like my legs are stuck in a hammer.
What the heck is that?
Because this is the first time they're seeing Mr. 3's devil fruit powers.
Oh,
this is perfect, goes Luffy, as he has like this little sly smile on his face, all like, oh, this is perfect. Like he's got that, like if I turn this page upside down, yeah, the face he's making is even funny. He's like, oh, this is perfect. That's the face he's making. That was easy. Now the hands. Candle lock. And Luffy just dodges out of the way. And then it cuts to Luffy stretching his arms towards a tree. And looping around it.
Huh?
And he's looping around the tree.
Huh.
What's he doing?
Excuse me.
Excuse me, Mr. Giant. And it cuts to Luffy as he starts spinning around. And actually, he's not around the tree. He's around the hilt of the wax sword he stabbed into Broggy. Gum Gum! And of course, since he's spinning around, it's causing the knife to kind of jiggle in the hand of Broggy. And if you're a person who's ever suffered a knife wound, I haven't, but just imagine a knife just wiggling inside of your hand, you know, your most delicate of body parts. It starts wiggling inside of Broggy's hand, causing it to, you know, like jiggle around in it. And Broggy's screaming in pain. Yeah! Gum Gum! What are you doing? Goes Zoro. Huh?
Luffy!
Goes Vivi. Ah! Hammer! And then in the process, Luffy unravels himself with such speed that he slams into the special candelabra and causes the whole thing to come crashing down.
What? All right! The wax pillar's falling!
And then Nami fully realizes that the wax pillar is falling. It didn't get knocked away, it's just still falling in place, right where Zoro, Nami, and Vivi still are. And everyone, you know, looks out in terror, with Zoro still holding his hand out as he's preparing to die in a wax pose. He still has his arm. He still has his arm stuck out. Ah! I did it! That thing on my legs broke off too. Huh? And then it cuts to the candelabra that just lands directly behind Nami and everyone else. But it doesn't move. It just falls directly in place with a resounding crash. And then everyone is just like completely scared. Huh? And Luffy goes, huh?
I'm alive.
I still can't move.
We're saved.
And then Broggy's just watching on. Hey, it's dangerous there. How come you're not running away?
Because we can't move!
And all three of them say it at the same time. You can't? But I wrecked the pillar like you said. Are we really entrusting our lives
to this boob, Mr. Bushido?
I have no choice. My arms have already hardened.
And like Vivi is really thinking, are we really entrusting our lives to this individual?
Wait a minute. My body's hardening too. I can't move at all.
The candle is closer now, so you're hardening more quickly as the candelabra continues to spin. It starts to spin and it starts to cover Nami and company in more and more wax. Fools! Because my wax become my wax figures. Hey, are you guys gonna turn into wax figures or something? That's what we've been trying to tell you! Just break this thing, Luffy. Right, gotcha. Not if I can help it. Wax hard harpoon! And Mr. 3 tries to throw a large wax harpoon at Luffy. Gunpowder Star! And then as it looks like Usopp is about to hit Mr. 3, Mr. 5 comes in and then chomps. He literally swallows the gunpowder star completely and swallows it. Whoa! As Luffy dodges out of the way of the harpoon itself. And Usopp looks on in surprise as Mr. 5's body explodes on the inside, but it doesn't do anything to him. Ugh, darn!
The flavor could be better. You don't use good gunpowder, do you?
My gunpowder star! He ate it!
And then Karoo just looks on in shock too.
This isn't good! It's really coming down fast now!
Good thing I chose this pose.
Idiot! Luffy, please hurry!
Okay, that pumpkin's the problem, right? Gum, it's no use! Candle wall! Bazooka! And then Luffy hits this candle wall, but it doesn't budge because it's that solid. Hey, you! Stop getting in my way! Same to you. You stop interfering with my waxwork. Candle lock! And then it cuts to Luffy as he dodges out of the way. Not again! Oh, I know. As he dodges out of the way and intentionally He intentionally allows one arm to be caught in the wax. Oh, thanks for the hammer. Huh? Gum, drat, candle, wool, hammer! And then he hits this wax hammer towards Mr. 3. And then we see a crack in the candle wall, and Mr. 3's eyes light up as he sees a fist break completely through it, and he sends Mr. 3 flying. Mr. 3!
Impossible! Yay, Luffy! Now hurry up and break us out of this stuff!
No.
Quit kidding around! Hurry!
No. And it cuts to Luffy, who's just standing there.
What?
Luffy, this is no time to be fooling around.
Luffy, please!
What'll I do? What'll I do? I don't want to save you guys.
What are you talking about?
And then it cuts to Miss Golden Week as she goes,
Colors trap.
Oh, Miss Golden Week is stepping in. Miss Golden Week is stepping in. Interesting. Chapter 1, and then we got some SBS. How many chapters do I have to go through today? We got 2 more chapters after this. We got 2 more chapters, and then we can call it a session. And then we'll continue with volume 15 tomorrow. I hope you all are enjoying this, because I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying reading these chapters for the very first time. I really am. SBS Corner! Reader, let's do the question corner. Oda. Okay, gotcha. Lay it on me. Question. Mr. Oda, what does it mean on page 97 of volume 13? The guy with the curls is holding some decoy mannequins with the he no unchi written on their faces. What does it mean? What does it mean? The soul of a reader cries out to know. That's ridiculous. He no uchi. Ha! I'd never draw something like that. You mean this scene, right? Oh, you're right. Darn that dirty Igaram. Unforgivable. Pulling an outrageous stunt like that in a tasteful comic like One Piece. And what's with that makeup? Hey, you! See? There, I scolded him. Good, please forgive him. And then we have another question. Question. Why does Igaram always say, ahem, me? I'm losing sleep over this. And then then he answers, me, eh? You know, it's that thing they do in music class. Don't they do voice exercises at the beginning? Like, me. That thing. He seems to be doing voice exercises. His throat must be Igarichi. Like Igaram. It's refreshing to read these chapters again after so long. It's a new experience for me. While a lot of you may have read this series from the very beginning, from the chapter onwards, I'm experienced, and you guys, and this is like a recap, like a refresher. This is the first time I'm reading these chapters, so these moments happening is all like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know this. Because as a One Piece fan, I can't truly call myself a One Piece fan if I've started on the manga, but I did it halfway through, and I didn't start at the beginning. You forgot Zoro tried to cut his legs to get free? This was new to me! That thing. He seems to be doing voice exercises. His throat must be Igarichi. Ahem. Me. And to give you a good bit of an explanation about the Heno Unchi, it means Heno is a drawing game using Japanese hiragana characters to make faces. But Oda added Unchi to the end, which means doo-doo. I know I've read these chapters several times that you lost count. I forgot many, and you forgot many things. Look, this is me experiencing it for the very first time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share these first-time moments with all of you. Thank you. Chapter 124, The Tea is Good.
Luffy, we're running out of time. Smash this thing already.
Yeah, I know.
Then hurry up.
I know, but I don't want to save you guys.
What are you talking about? We're about to become wax figures. Don't you get it? We're going to die.
Yeah, but somehow I just don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it?
What's wrong with that idiot?
Our guys are gonna die. I'll bring him to his senses.
Let's go, Karoo! Ah!
It's useless. He's already caught in the trap.
Huh?
As it cuts to Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine standing in the way of Usopp and Karoo.
That's right. Don't you see where his feet are?
His feet? His feet? Huh? He's standing on some weird black symbol. What is it?
It's just ordinary paint.
Paint?
But it means that you and your friends are doomed.
As it cuts to Mr. 5 trying to kick Usopp, who dodges out of the way. Let's retreat for now, Karoo! Full speed ahead! And then it cuts to Karoo, who reciprocates, and he takes off. And then Miss Valentine goes,
He's escaping on the dock. Ah! Wait! I'm not in the saddle yet!
and Karoo takes off before Usopp, with Usopp trying to chase him down and get on. After them.
Right.
And then it cuts to Karoo, who's looking back, and he doesn't see Usopp. He doesn't see Usopp on his back. Ah?
Hey! Stop! Let me on!
And then Karoo, scared of the face that Usopp is making, takes off even faster.
Why are you scared of me?
And then it cuts to Vivi.
Miss Golden Week, this is your handiwork, isn't it? It's my colors trap. Betrayal black. The black paint makes people want to betray their friends. What's she saying? What's going on?
Goes Nami.
That girl is an artist who can accurately recreate the colors of emotion. She uses paint to make refined color images that hypnotize people.
Hypnotize? Oh no. Hypnotic powers would be devastating against a simple-minded fool like him. He wouldn't stand a chance.
And Zoro realizes that since Luffy's an idiot, this is probably a very dangerous power to be used against him.
But, well, can't he just step off the design? Luffy, get away from there! No, don't, Luffy. Whatever you do, don't step out of the black circle, please.
And then, Miss Golden Week bites on her cookie.
Princess, what are you saying? We don't want you to save us.
Oh yeah? And then Luffy steps out of the circle.
Now I get it.
Huh? Something was wrong with me just then, but I'll save you now. And then it cuts to Luffy, who starts laughing. Never mind that, I gotta laugh. And Luffy's just in the midst of a laughing fit right now.
Huh? Now what?
And Luffy is laughing as he has another marking drawn on his back.
Colors trap. Laughter yellow. Now you mustn't move.
And it cuts to Miss Golden Week, who apparently painted that symbol on his back while she's still eating rice crackers. The amount of focus you gotta have to eat food and, use this at the same time.
It's on his shirt. Luffy, quick, take your shirt off.
No way, I just want to laugh right now.
Rats, with the wax falling so fast, we won't last another minute.
Ow! And it cuts to Karoo that's just careening through the whole area as Luffy's just laughing like crazy, and Usopp finally managed to get on Karoo.
Did you guys just come here to play around?
Karoo!
And then Luffy is still just crazy laughing. Blast! They're too fast! As Mr. 5 and Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine continue to chase after Usopp and Karoo.
Look! When Usopp and Karoo hit Luffy, the paint on his shirt got...
Did she do something to me again? Cut it out, you little witch!
Did you enjoy my laughter yellow?
Shut up! Are you crazy? I gotta wreck that pumpkin! Gum!
Colors trap. Bullfight red.
Bazooka. And then it cuts to Luffy, who aims at the ground instead. Bazooka! But he finds that he's aimed towards the ground.
Not there, you fool!
Not there, you fool!
No, Mr. 3 will be angry if you break it. Now you'll stick to that pattern the way a bull goes after a red cape.
Ah, you're gonna get it! Your history! Gum! Bazooka! And he just aims towards that same old target that Miss Golden Week painted.
Having fun? It's useless! She's too strong! His powers are useless! And the finishing touch to mix the laughing yellow on your shirt with sorrowful blue. Colors trap, calming green.
And then Luffy gets painted again. The tea is good. And he's just chilling with Golden Week.
You moron! So now what?
It's crazy when you think about it. Miss Golden Week was never confirmed as having a devil fruit power. She's a mystery. Hold the phone. You're right. You're right. I thought she had a devil fruit power this whole time. All these years, I thought she had a power. I thought she had a devil fruit power. All these years. I know nothing. You know nothing, Kyushu. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You know nothing, Kyushu 92. I know nothing. The tea is good.
You moron! So now what?
See, you two should have struck a pose like me. Your loss.
You're still making jokes?
Nespalm, double cannon. And it cuts to Mr. 5, who's shooting out double explosive boogies. As Usopp and Karoo continue to avoid him.
Aha! You missed! Good duck, Karoo! Death blow! Lead star!
This running around is getting us nowhere.
True.
I didn't want to use this on small fry like this, but...
A pistol? Ah, that's okay. Let's see if we can dodge some bullets. Let's go by our guides again. The enemy told us about those color traps. When we bumped into Luffy earlier, the mark was painted on his shirt. That mosey girl beside him must have done it. It has to be her. Charge!
And it cuts to Usopp. It cuts to Usopp as they run back to the candelabra, but they all stop as they see that Nami, Vivi, and Zoro are completely covered in wax.
You'll never dodge the bullets from my 6-shot .44 caliber flintlock revolver. It's the new rage of the South Blue. It's a rapid-fire death machine. With me doing the shooting, you'll never know what hit you.
So everyone has been covered in wax now. Broggy is completely covered in wax. Zoro, Vivi, and Nami all. And Usopp is just taken aback from these turn of events. The tea is good.
Luffy! What are you doing?
And then it cuts to Luffy, who is massively struggling against these color traps, because as he says the tea is good, his face is he may be his whole body may be behaving in a calm manner, but he is not calm because he is struggling.
The tea is good.
As he's struggling with all of his might against this color trap ability.
You're done for. This is my ultimate power.
And it cuts to Mr. 5 blowing into the barrel of this flintlock revolver.
Darn, he's shooting! Death blow!
And then it cuts to Miss Golden Week, who sees Usopp, and she kind of gets surprised as she's being aimed at, and then Luffy winds up getting hit with Usopp's
Fire Star!
And then it cuts to Miss Valentine.
The fool shot his friend by mistake.
Huh?
He's not shooting.
As it cuts to Mr. 5, who hasn't shot him yet. And then he gets shot because Mr. 5 breathes breath bomb. So him merely breathing into the revolver counts as a tangible thing that can explode. His mere breath can be bombs. Since he has his revolver out, he can stop digging in his nose and using those as flickable bombs now. He can stop that. Since he has a revolver, he can breathe bullets into an unlimited amount. He has unlimited bullets. The concept of you being able to breathe and the sensation of your breath being turned into live ammunition for a gun, that's crazy. Because as long as you breathe, you have ammunition, which means you will never run out of ammo. That's kind of OP when you think about it. But let's get back to it. Breeze breath bomb. And Usopp and Karoo get hit by this explosion.
I forgot to tell you, my breath is explosive too.
Crud! This is ridiculous. Did he run out of bullets? You okay?
And then it cuts to Usopp, who's struggling to get up.
Hey, are you awake now, you idiot?
Yeah, I'm awake. Thanks. That paint won't work on me anymore. As it cuts to Luffy, as long as you are alive. Yeah, as long as you are alive. Because if you're underwater, you're pretty much useless. I mean, for any Devil Fruit user, if you're underwater, you're pretty much useless. But if you're not able to breathe, no unlimited. It's only unlimited as long as you breathe. But it cuts to Luffy, who says, yeah, I'm awake. Thanks. That paint won't work on me anymore. As Luffy pretty much took his shirt off, so now he can't be painted on. His shirt can't be painted on.
He attacked his friend on purpose in order to burn his shirt and destroy the trap,
goes Miss Valentine. You're not gonna kill my friends. Now I'm really mad. All right, we are on the second to last chapter. And that's the end of chapter 124. Onwards to chapter 125, but first, another SBS. Reader, Mr. Oda, hiya, I love Usopp. Hey, Judo, look this way. Usopp, rubber band. And Oda doesn't say anything. Question, hello, Mr. Oda. Well, I'm puzzled by something. In Usopp's Pirate Gallery in Volume 13, why are there readers' drawings of future characters? Do they have ESP? How do they know what the new characters will be? Thank you. Phew. I was scared. I expected to get hit by a rubber band. What's that? Oh, new characters. That's because those people read Shonen Jump. I've been reading it myself since I was a kid. It's still a great magazine. Question. On TV the other day, I saw a man dressed up like one of those Egyptian pharaohs like King Tut. He was wearing a strut goatee like Django's. Now here's my question. What's the connection between the ancient Egyptians and Django? Answer. Actually, there's a connection. Django is the captain of the Black Cat Pirates. His crewmen all wear cat ears, but he has a striped goatee. That's because cats are popular in Japan these days. But cats originated in Egypt, so I added an Egyptian touch. Well, that's all it was, so no big deal. And then the final question. Hello, dummy. Let me see. Let me make sure. This is something I can say. Oh yeah, it is something. Hebo imo osore itashimatsu. A nonsensical sentence that roughly means, thanks a lot, rotten potato. Never understood how someone could shoot bullets back at people when I see people do it in manga and movies and games. It still blows my mind. Never understood how someone could shoot bullets back at people? Do you mean like deflect bullets? Like deflect bullets, like with a sword and stuff? Yeah, I mean, you gotta be crazy accurate to do it because of the angles of which you deflect things. Like, you can't just, like, slap away a bullet and then it goes instantly in one direction. You gotta know how much strength you need to put into it, the angle of which you deflect stuff and stuff like that. If that's what you mean, Psycho, then, I mean, it's because the people who do it are crazy accurate. If that's what you mean. Hello, dummy. Hebo imo osore itashimasu. A nonsensical sentence that roughly means, thanks a lot, rotten potato. Hey, Timmy Ueda, I bet you're reading this. We challenge you to a game of Shiritori. I'll start. Mikan! Orange. Aw, rats. You mean from their mouths. Oh, never understood how someone could shoot bullets back at people from their mouths? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. We challenge you to a game of Shiri Tori. You have to have skills like Kenshin, Himura, Samurai Jack, and Afro Samurai. Also skills like, you gotta have skills like Yujiro Hanma as well, because that dude is crazy too. We challenge you to a game of Shiri Tori. I'll start. Mikan, orange. Aw, rats, I'm quitting the SBS. Answer. Hey, wait a minute. By the way, what does the pura in tempura mean? For that matter, what does tem mean? Tempura. What does it mean anyway? So, to explain to you what Shiri Tori is, take the tail, a word game. The first player says a word, and every subsequent player has to say a new word, starting with the last syllable of the previous word, but none of the words can end in N. And that's the end of SBS. Sorry for taking so long. Onwards to chapter 125, Candle Champion! And we cut to Sanji. We haven't seen Sanji in a minute.
Something's definitely wrong. Very wrong. They've been gone a long time. Why haven't they come back? Could something have happened to Nami or Vivi? If so, this is no time for me to be cooking a lizard dinner.
And it cuts to Sanji, who brought a whole T-Rex with him. While Zoro brought a Triceratops, he basically brought a whole T-Rex with him to cook up.
That's it. I'm gonna go look for him.
And it cuts to Sanji, who's walking on his own. Nami! Vivi! And as he's walking, a big old saber-toothed tiger walks up to Sanji, and he roars. And the very next panel we see is that same saber-toothed tiger giving Sanji a ride through the forest. Hey, you out there? I love you! And it cuts to this saber-toothed tiger who's crying his eyes out, and he's got like a big old knot on his head. Like, you don't roar at Sanji and think that's going to do anything.
Huh?
And then Sanji comes across the wax house that Mr. 3 and company were staying in.
What's this?
And then it cuts to... Then it cuts to someone laughing, and I think it's Mr. 5 going,
So what if you're mad? Look at your friend.
That's okay. They're still alive. Oh, wait. That was Mr. 5 saying it, and I used the wrong voice.
So what if you're mad? Look at your friends.
That's okay. They're still alive.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. When Miss Golden Week finishes her painting, they'll all be magnificent wax statues. They'll all be magnificent wax statues. It's too late, Straw Hat.
I'm trying to make sure that I don't see Mr. 3 around here because we got someone screaming that out. Oh, wait. I think that is him. So what if you're mad? Look at your friends.
That's okay. They're still alive.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. When Miss Golden Week finishes her painting, they'll all be magnificent wax figures.
It's too late, Straw Hat.
That's right! Taste the bitterness of despair. As it cuts to Mr. 3, who comes barreling out of the forest in like a giant mech suit of pure wax. Attack! Candle Champion! Gotta be really careful with that. Really careful, because, like I said, you never know if this is someone's first experience with One Piece. So, no, we hide that information. All right, go back to normal. Great. I touch one thing. There we go. I touch one thing and it messes up chat. You never know if this is someone's first iteration of One Piece. So no talking about anything that alludes to future people. It's all good, Ogata, but just in case, if this is someone's first interaction with One Piece, They don't know who you're talking about, but let's be careful just in case. Candle Champion!
Whoa!
What is it? You once took down a criminal worth 42 million berries with that thing.
That's Mr. Three's masterpiece.
Come, Miss Golden Week, slap some paint on me with artistry. I'll crush that impudent straw hat.
Then I can rest?
Why, of course! In fact, don't help me! In this form, I'm already invincible! My special wax gently envelops me in a carapace that's harder than steel, and there's no weak point in this armor!
Cool! Don't admire him! Fight!
Because Luffy's all like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, right! Come! And then Usopp looks down, and he realizes that he's slowly being covered in wax.
A waxy mist!
Pistol! The paint job's finished. Now then. And he just knocks away Luffy's hand with the way that Miss Golden Week has painted him. He knocks it away. Championship fight! Little Garden! And it cuts to Luffy, who's dodging out of the way of Mr. 3. Whoever you're doing that voice for, I'm digging the New Orleans accent. Oh, you must be talking about Mr. 5. He's the person I got going. That voice for. Come! Stamp! And then Luffy aims his foot at Mr. 3, but Mr. 3 blocks it.
Why didn't I see it sooner? That mist is melted wax! Luffy, he can melt the wax! No matter how hard it is, it's still wax! Our guys in Master Broggy haven't been solid for very long. We can still save them!
Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
And then it cuts to Golden Week, who just basically confirms Usopp's suspicions. Don't give away our secrets! But that won't make any difference. You have no chance of winning, and no more time. They've only got 30 seconds until their hearts stop forever. Right about now, the darkness is closing in on your friends. They're tormented by pain and the horror of death.
I don't need 30 seconds. I'm gonna save you now. Death blow! Fire!
Breeze breath bomb. And then Mr. 5, using his breath and his gun, shoots at Usopp again. Usopp! And it cuts to Usopp, who's just standing there momentarily. And then Karoo screams out for Usopp. Didn't you hear, Mr. 3? You have no chance of winning. And Karoo's trying to check on Usopp. Darn it, running out of time! And then Mr. 5 looks at Luffy. Give up! As Mr. 3 comes down with a massive fist on Luffy.
Hey, take this rope!
As Usopp is motioning towards Karoo. And then we get Miss Valentine, who lands right next to Usopp.
What are you two plotting? Won't you let me in on it?
And then Karoo just takes off. Go,
Karoo! Ah!
And then Mr. 5 readies his gun again. It's all over.
Crescendo stone. Let's see how many kilograms of pressure you can stand. 10 kilos. 100 kilos. 200 kilos.
And then Miss Valentine is sitting on top of Usopp and is slowly increasing her weight as she crushes him.
Ah!
And then it cuts to Karoo, who's running away from Mr. 5's shots.
500 kilos. Run around them.
Impudent bird. Give it up! They've already become my works of art. It's been over 30 seconds since I've been talking. Okay, if this was real time, they would have been gone by now. But it's been over 30 seconds. Give it up! They're already become my works of art. Forget it. I'm not losing my friends! As Luffy is dodging back and forth between the attacks of Mr. 3. I'm not losing my friends to the likes of you! As he grabs on to Mr. 3's hair, which is still flaming, by the way. As he goes, if the heat will melt the wax, then I'll use this fire right here! Oh! Quit pulling!
Luffy! That flame's too small! Like Karoo's rope!
The bird's rope? Time is relative in One Piece. Time, what is that in One Piece? That's the better way to say it. What is time in One Piece?
The special rope. Huh? That's soaked in oil.
Gotcha. Okay. Wake up, guys. Hey, wait, stop.
It's gonna get hot, but grit your teeth and bear it.
Stop! And then it cuts to Luffy, who brings Mr. Three's head, something you didn't mention after the previous volume. Miss All Sunday had a southern accent on the 4Kids version. Yes, she did. She had like a Southern Belle type accent. She had like a Southern Belle type accent. She did. Oh my goodness, she did. We'll talk about that we'll talk about that more as we continue these volumes. Ozzy, we will talk about the 4Kids' complete blasphemy against this great series, but we'll talk about it later. When you think about it, so did Alvida. All the more reason why I don't give them accents, because I want to put them as far away from the 4Kids version as I can. Because I thought about it multiple times, but I thought, you know what? I better not, because it's just going to remind me of the horrible Alvida version from the 4Kids dub. I don't want to. Continuing on, Luffy takes Mr. 3 and then lights the rope, and the whole area just lights up in fire. And that's the end of chapter 125. Onwards to the last chapter for today, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 126, Instinct. Hey, it's the chapter volume name. It's the volume chapter. It's the volume name. Chapter volume. It's the volume chapter. I can't even say name in there. I'm so sorry. Chapter 126, Instinct. He awakes. One Piece short run, concentrated comic serial number 3. And it shows Django finally waking up. And then the whole area, the special candelabra, just going up in flames. As Nami, Zoro, and Vivi are also in this inferno as well. I'm burning! Blast you, Straw Hat! That's a lot of heat. Will they be okay? You dare to ruin my special candelabra! As Mr. 3 immediately takes off. Like his whole body armor is melting, and he just takes off from Luffy. Oh no you don't! And then it cuts to Karoo, who's running as well, because pieces of wax is like splashing all over the place. And then it cuts to Mr. 5. They're underestimating us. Giving us trouble, eh?
Giving us trouble, eh?
As it cuts to Ms. Valentine's Day, as she's still on top of Usopp.
No more fun and games. I'll crush your head to a pulp.
As she punches Usopp, and then she jumps high into the air.
10,000 kilo guillotine.
As she floats high into the air, and then she comes down hard. And then it continues to show everyone. It continues to show everyone in fire. Then all of a sudden, before Miss Valentine lands on Usopp, because with her 10,000 kilo guillotine, she plans to use all of her weight to bring her leg down on Usopp's neck and just, crush him. Well, just crush his head completely. But before she can do that, 2 individuals show up and they knock her aside. And they look like Nami and Vivi. Nami and Vivi are out of the wax and they knock away Miss Valentine.
What terrible heat. Wasn't there any other way?
And then Miss Valentine is just laying on the floor right next to Usopp.
Don't complain. You're lucky to be alive.
You're right. Thanks. As it shows Nami as her shirt basically burned off and she just has her bra on underneath. And then it cuts to Vivi, whose overcoat that she had on, her overshirt, that kind of came out singed as well.
I can't believe it. We're alive.
Drat, the wax melted. What a pain. As Mr. 5 aims at Nami and Vivi with his gun again. We can't afford to fail in our mission again.
Mr. 5! Death blow! Exploding star!
Fool, I've shown you over and over that explosives don't work on me. I'm a human bomb.
He swallowed it.
And then Mr. 5 realizes that he did not swallow an exploding star.
Sorry,
but I'm a fibber. That wasn't a bomb. It was my deluxe pepper sauce star. Now, if you guys remember, previously, Usopp was working on perfecting his pepper star until, in the midst of him doing it, Luffy came and knocked the pepper into his eyes. That was when he was working on this very same pepper star. I remember when he was working on it when they were sailing earlier, before they even got to Whiskey Peak. And now he uses his brand new attack on Mr. Five. Water! As Mr. Five's whole body just erupts. His whole mouth just erupts in flames.
I personally checked its effectiveness.
You lousy pirates. I'll blow you to bits with my full-body blast.
And then Mr. Five latches onto Usopp.
Usopp!
When I'm finished with you, there won't even be bones left.
And then we hear someone say,
Flaming Oni Giri!
And then Zoro, who's completely uncovered by the wax, though his swords are still cloaked in fire, cuts up Mr. Five. And his body is engulfed in flames by Zoro and him using Onigiri, flaming Onigiri.
A burning sword. Not bad.
And then he sheathes his sword, and you can even see the cut in his legs when he was trying to hack into his legs earlier. You see the cut, and it's still bleeding.
Zoro!
And then we see a big giant hand land right next to Usopp, Nami, and Vivi.
It's good to be alive.
Aye. Master.
And then
Only two left to fight. Only two left to fight.
as it cuts to Bragi, who's fully up now, Zoro, Usopp, Nami, and Vivi, standing between an unconscious Miss Valentine and an unconscious Mr. Five.
Only two left to fight.
And then it cuts to Karoo and Luffy as they're running through the forest. Bird! Ah! Don't let him get away! Ah! Anybody who'd spoil a battle of honor is no man! I'm glad you've come. Welcome to my Wax Mansion. What the? And it's Luffy who runs headfirst into a forest full of Mr. Threes. Apparently, Mr. Three learned the multi-shadow clone technique, apparently. Now, which one is the real me? Can you tell? And it just cuts to all of these clones just laughing over and over and over again. You've picked a bad enemy. We're the best brains of Baroque works, and you're just a powerful oaf who acts only on instinct. You'll never take us. I am Mr. Three. I never fail in my mission. Now come, step inside. But the moment you turn your back on me, you'll get a dagger in the heart. And it shows one of these Mr. Threes holding a knife in his hands, but we don't know which one. And it cuts to all of these clones laughing over and over again as Luffy goes, "Gum gum, stamp!" And Luffy immediately kicks one Mr. Three, who turns out to be the real one.
How did you know where I was?
As he falls over, bloodied face with an imprint of Luffy's sandal on his foot, Luffy answers, "Instinct!" And then it cuts to Karoo, who goes and sees someone hiding behind a corner, and Karoo finds Miss Goldenweek, and she screams, "Ah!" And then it cuts back to the wax house again. And Sanji is just having tea. He's just having tea.
Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting here sipping tea. The girls might be waiting for me to save them.
What a nice place like this. What's a nice place like this doing in the middle of a jungle anyway? And then the phone goes off.
What's that? Hey, a telephone snail.
Gotcha.
Hello, this is Restaurant Le Crap. Would you like to make a reservation? Stop fooling around, you idiot. You're late with your report. Report? Who is this? It's me, Mr. Zero.
To be continued in One Piece Volume 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the end of Volume 14 of One Piece. Oh, it's getting good. I can't wait to experience all of these moments. We're making some good headway, me doing this all the time. And we got Volume 15 for tomorrow. And I probably won't be playing Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. I'm going to play it today. But I won't be playing it tomorrow. I'm going to be playing it tomorrow because I won't be playing it tomorrow. I'm going to be playing it today because I won't be playing it tomorrow because of the PlayStation Showcase that will be happening at 4. So today we're going to cover more ground in Tears of the Kingdom. Wasn't Den Den Mushi? Yeah, they call it a telephone snail. They call it a telephone snail, but they don't call them like the names we call them right now because it hasn't reached that point in the story yet. Den Den Mushi is the Japanese name of what they call it. Like they call it telephone snail, transponder snail, but Japanese is Den Den Mushi. I just call it Den Den Mushi because I like the sound of it. But like I said, we'll be playing through Tears of the Kingdom again today at possibly 4 o'clock or maybe earlier. But then tomorrow we'll be playing. We'll be reacting to the entire PlayStation Showcase, and hopefully we'll see some brand new games get shown off at that time. Never mind, they were introduced during Arlong Park. Yes, this was when Captain Nezumi was putting the bounty out for Luffy and company. That's the first time we ever see a Den Den Mushi. When he's speaking to the naval officer that handles, putting out bounty posters for everybody and getting them to Brand New and the rest of the people at Navy HQ. That's when we first saw a Den Den Mushi. Officially, that's when we first saw it. Back then, when the bounties were being made for Luffy. But this is the first time we actually see a Den Den Mushi ringing. That's the thing. This is the first time we ever see it ringing. We already see it being used during Arlong Park, but we actually see it ringing the first time here, with Sanji apparently speaking with Mr. Zero. Gotcha. So, overall, this was a fantastic reading. I saw things that I did not see before in this series, and I'm glad I'm reading this for the very first time for all of you. I'll see you guys in the next stream for today, which was Tears of the Kingdom, but I'll see most of you. I'll see all of you. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm just excited today because I'm happy that my strike has been removed from my channel. It is a very joyous day. I'm happy. That deserves a sandwich. That deserves a sandwich. But I'll see you guys tomorrow as we continue with Volume 15 of the series, and we'll just continue on from there. So all I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier, and I am aiming for 100,000 subscribers. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!